Hello, everybody. Oh, good. We got a couple of people watching already. My apologies for being tardy. I was having some tech issues, so I basically had to restart my browser, and everything was fine after that. So good times. Yeah, so feel free to comment. Let me know, or if you're on YouTube or Facebook, if you're watching wherever you're watching from, let me know. Leave a comment, participate in the chat, and all that fun stuff. We are tuning in from my living room. So, oh man, it's been a day. It's been a month. It's been a month. So, since I haven't had a chance to make any new videos in March, I wanted, yeah, I think in March. Yeah. I think I may have done one in March. Um, I don't even remember. So, hey, Vicky, oh, from Shenandoah Valley. Hey, oh my goodness. Jealous. The Shenandoah Valley is so beautiful. Steve's watching on YouTube. Awesome. Yeah, it's been a month. It's been a month and I didn't put out a video last week, so I felt bad about that. And then just with everything happening in life, I didn't have a chance to record anything new this week. So here I am. um, Hoping little Miss Callie will make an appearance because yeah, she's a big reason why content's kind of come to a halt right now. Hey, Mary Beth. Hello, hello. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, my elderly cat, Callie, she had some health issues about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks ago. Well, she still has health issues and we're managing them now. But yeah, I have an elderly kitty, Callie, who also has lymphoma and she also has a heart murmur and she has kidney disease. And literally a few weeks ago, I thought this was it. She was having some issues going to the bathroom. And so we took her to the urgent care vet, and they told us that she had cystitis. Um, but because of like her heart murmur and everything and her kidney issues, we couldn't really treat it the way that we needed to treat it. So we ended up getting pain management meds as well as meds to help stop like the spasming that was happening with her and her bathroom issues. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mary Beth. Hey, Stacy. So and the worst timing of all in all of this was I had to hop on a plane to go out of town for a work related thing. And and I couldn't cancel. So it was one of those situations where I was like, okay, so my husband essentially had to take over in getting her in administering meds for her. And this is in addition to her meds that she's already taking several times a day. Um, so I get back. I was supposed to be gone literally just for a day. So I was flying out on one day and I was supposed to fly out that evening. Um, but because American Airlines is a hot mess, even my flight from DC to where I was going kept getting delayed, and then there were crew issues, then it was weather issues, and I didn't get to my destination. I was supposed to arrive around 3 o'clock. I didn't get there till like 8 o'clock, and then I couldn't get a lift from the airport to town because it's not even a small town either. It's a decent sized city. So I didn't get to my hotel until like 10 o'clock. Like I literally had to piggyback on someone else's Lyft ride to be able to get to my hotel. Um, so then I do the thing I'm supposed to be doing and why I'm out of town in the first place, and I'm supposed to fly out that night. So basically not get home until like 10:30 at night, which I'm fine with. I'd be gone for one night. But then American canceled that flight. So got a hotel for Saturday night. Um, and then I did not get home. Basically, the flight that I had to take was I had to fly out, and instead of flying me straight to DC, I had to connect in New York, LaGuardia, New York City. So basically, I had to go up and go back down. So I didn't get home until like 5 o'clock the next day. So that took me out. Like that took me out. Um, but then when I got home, um, Callie seemed to be doing better, but then on Monday, she was doing like her weird squatty thing again. Um, she seemed very strange. She kept pacing and she kept doing her. She was basically peeing in like little droplets in random spots. She was telling us that she wasn't feeling good. So I called the urgent care again. Um, I called the urgent care again and I said, okay, this is still happening. We've been doing the meds. What can we do? And they said, at this point, it's a medical emergency. You need to take her to the ER. So they sent us a list of ERs to take Callie to, and meanwhile, my wallet is getting ready to scream because Mary Beth, as you said, urgent care visits are really expensive. The first urgent care visit was $400. So I start calling around to ERs, and all the ERs in our area are at capacity. They cannot take any more. And I'm sitting here like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding? Like, Cat needs help. And so we did find one in Georgetown in DC, but basically you have to call them. They send you a check-in link, and they will send you the check-in link when they are ready to see you. And this was a smaller ER. They had a dog that got hit by a car, and then they had a cat coming in as well. They had a cat in as well, and so basically they were at capacity, but we were essentially in line for triage. So I didn't get the check-in link until 2 a.m. And then at that point, Callie had a good pee, and I'm like, okay, let's just hold out. So I called her vet the next day, and I got in with her regular vet. Her regular vet is retiring, so they're transitioning a new doctor. Um, I was not a huge fan, I'll be honest. So basically, this doctor's like, oh, we need to do a complete blood work, and um, let's give her some more meds. And we haven't even used those meds because she hasn't needed them. And that visit was $500. So in the span of like 2 weeks, I spent $900 on my cat. Um, and then to add insult to injury, Callie's cardiologist, my cat has a whole care team, by the way. She's got a cardiologist, she's got a nephrologist, she has a vet. she's she's got a whole care team. So her cardiologist calls me, and she's like, "Hey, so we noticed that Callie's heart rate was elevated during her recent vet visit." And I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" And they're like, "Yeah, you need to bring her in so we can listen to her heart." And I'm like, so she was sick. She was sick, literally straining. So I'm sure that probably has an effect on the heart. And also, I had mentioned that I wasn't too impressed with this new doctor. The vet techs were a little aggressive with Callie, and Callie's not that kind of cat. I thought it was a little bit unnecessary, and Callie ended up hiding in one of the little pet beds. Um, and you could take the top off, but basically Callie hid. Callie usually doesn't hide from the vet. She's usually very curious. She's very open, but she was just like, no, screw this. I'm not a part of this. And the vet just kind of grabs her and tosses her onto the table. And I'm like, oh, please don't handle my cat like that. Anyway, so I'm not surprised that her heart rate was elevated, but then, yeah, the cardiologist is like, you need to bring her in to do some tests. And I'm like, I just dropped $900 on this cat. Like, I can't. I freaking can't. And the other thing they said was same vet was like, oh, her bladder's empty, so we can't do urinalysis. You need to bring her back in so we can do a urine test. And and she just felt her Callie's bladder. And I'm like, okay. And then I kid you not, as soon as Callie got home, she peed. Like, she peed in the box. So Callie's been through this poor baby has been through the ringer. Um, she's been through the ringer. So, oh, thank you. Thank you, Mary Beth. Ouch is right. $900. And, we're trying to save money and do all these things. And Callie's like, Leroy Jenkins. It's not her fault. She is doing better. Callie is doing better. She is hanging out on the couch right now. She seems to be doing okay. We're still watching her. Hey, Shanna Stoker, tarot extraordinaire, wonderful, beautiful artist. I love Shanna. She's amazing. Um, oh man, I couldn't even imagine what it would be like to not have an ER vet or emergency vet. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah, poor baby is right. This poor little girl, like literally too traumatized. Well, no, I wouldn't say her urgent care was traumatizing, but she definitely wasn't feeling well. Um, yeah. So Yeah, Callie. Um, yeah, Nikki, I didn't have that conversation with them. Um, we have care credit, but we have like a fairly small amount on care credit, so it's not like, and I try not to depend on credit as much as possible. I don't know how many people follow Dave Ramsey, but I'm kind of doing the Ramsey method and getting out of debt and everything. Until I get that one video that goes viral that makes me like YouTube rich. Um, yeah, I didn't explore that option. I probably should have, looking back, because basically my husband and I agreed, we're like, we're probably going to have to eat ramen the rest of the month, but that's okay. Now, one thing that was really awesome that I really want to thank the community for was I had posted something on my Facebook basically saying, this was after the $400 bill, was basically saying like, hey, if y'all wanted to buy something from my Etsy shop, that would help. And man, the community came through. The community came through. I will say, after I had to pay like all the processing fees and the production fees and everything, I got maybe 150 bucks, but it's better than nothing. And, we put it towards the, Cali fund. But yeah, my Etsy shop did, a lot of people came through and bought stuff from my Etsy shop. And that was really awesome. That was really awesome. So the community definitely came through. And everyone has seen Callie in some capacity, whether it's a photo I've posted of her or she's been in a video, walking on my keyboard, doing something. She's always made some sort of appearance. And so I think, a lot of people have fallen in love with her. She's definitely a sweet baby. She's 18 years old. Um, we only have a couple years left with her, and I'm trying to make it as comfortable for her as possible. We were given the option in terms of her cancer if we wanted to like do surgery, get biopsies so that we could get more details about her cancer. But at the same time, she's 18 years old with a heart murmur, meaning she can't really go under anesthesia. I mean, she can, but it's going to be very risky. It's going to be very risky. And to me, I'm like, I don't know if that's worth it. So as long as she's not suffering and she's, doing okay. Callie is very good at communicating her needs. Like when she first got sick, she kept sitting in front of me, like putting her butt in my face. She just told me right away what was wrong. And when she put her butt in my face, I was like, oh, that's not good. I was like, oh, that's not right. Hmm, Callie was excellent at communicating her needs, and um, she did the same thing when she wasn't feeling well again. She was letting us know that something wasn't right. So, um, thank you, Mary Beth. I will pass on the kitty love to Callie. Yeah, for real. I hope that viral video comes soon, or my Etsy store, blows up a little bit. Just something, just a little something. Um, yeah, I'm so glad you made it, Kira. Kira, wonderful name. Aw, I do love that name too. Kira's a wonderful, beautiful name. Yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on. And in addition to all of this, I'm really trying to finish this book on like the founding mothers of the paranormal, and I'm like, I'm behind. Crystal. Yeah, yeah. I'm glad to hear she's doing better. I really hate you two had a not so great of a vet visit. My rescue friends are going through the same thing with their vet, and they aren't happy with the change either. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give this vet one more chance because um I'm gonna give her one more chance because she was new. She was meeting Callie for the first time. Um, and plus Callie wasn't really up for conversing either, but I mean, her old vet, I mean, he's still around. He's transitioning out, so this is all part of like the transition. Anytime like he came in, he would talk to me first, and he would sit down, and he would let Callie come up to him, and he would give her some love and give her some treats, and just really like he would love on her a lot. And I think that's what really stood out to me. And Callie is very comfortable with him. And Callie's not really like a people cat, so besides with me and my husband. Um, so I really appreciated him. And this vet didn't quite do the same. And granted, we were a last minute squeeze in, so maybe she was pressed for time. Um, but I'm going to give her one more chance just to make sure, like, was this just a one off, or is this something that's consistent? I know we're not really talking spooky stuff right now. Sorry, everybody. And I can definitely change the subject if I need to. But yeah, but overall, I'm gonna give her another chance. And if things go better next time with this vet, then I'll reconsider my stance. But if it doesn't go well, then basically what I'll do is I'll just request the original vet until he retires, and then maybe I'll go because the urgent care we went to was really nice. Um, and their prices were reasonable. I mean, urgent care is huh, that's interesting. Is this a thing? What is this? Let me get on YouTube really quick. This is weird. Of a strike period. I did not know this. Hang on, y'all. I need to make sure this is actually legit and not. This is weird. Right. I'm wondering, is this real or is it fake? Like, I haven't gotten any note. Let me check. Um, okay. It might be fake. I think it might be fake. Huh. That's really weird. I haven't gotten any notifications otherwise. That's weird. But I'm also noticing that the team YouTube is not like the T is not capitalized. Huh. It's not. Oh, go to channel. Hang on. I'm not sure if this is. Oh, I don't know if this is real. That's strange. Hmm. No, so I just made that pop up on the chat on my end. Um, you would think, yeah, I'm gonna check my email really quick that's associated with the channel. Hmm, that's very odd. Yeah, I haven't gotten anything from YouTube either. No, I haven't gotten an email, so I'm just gonna assume that this is fake. That's really weird. Way to give me a minor heart attack. Yeah, Nikki, you're right. Wouldn't that stuff come through your email? It would. It would. Um, yeah, I mean, that's very odd. Dixie, I'm really happy you're here. Yay. Oh yeah, this is not real. Whew. Whew. Okay. All right, time to take care of this person. Yeah, yeah, this isn't real. Wow. Talk about let's see. Just gonna put them in timeout. Hoi. Yeah, it's not real. Okay, I'm gonna catch up on messages. Okay, Henry, Myrtle's Plantation. Okay, I have thoughts on Myrtle's Plantation. Um, Myrtle's Plantation, I have not explored it, but I do have issues with the way that they tell not true stories. That's all I can really say about that on a public platform because if you look up the story of Chloe and Myrtle's Plantation and you look it up, you will find that Chloe was doesn't there is no documentation of a person named Chloe. And when you look at the lore of because the story is that Chloe uh was a slave who basically was forced into serve I can only I can't it's hard to tell the story without risking getting banned on YouTube or Facebook because it's a gross story. So basically Chloe was taken in as a forced partner of her master. That's the story. And then she made a so basically she so this is a hard one. Anyway, in the story she made this poison cake that had unalived, I have to use this word because algorithms, that unalived this master's family. That's not true. So I don't have a positive, I don't have positive feelings about Myrtle's plantation, because of that. It's a made up story. It's completely a made up story. Um, I I'll be honest, I have strong feelings about investigators going to plantations, because there's no reason to go. Like there's really no reason to go ghost hunting. At these places. That's just my personal opinion. Not saying that those who go are wrong. I just, for me personally, I don't feel that it's respectful, especially when we look at the trauma and the horrific things that happened on plantations. Um, there's no need. There's no need to go. Now, I do know that there are descendants of slaves who have gone to plantations to essentially do, I don't know if we want to call them crossing overs or spirit interventions, but I think that's fine because to me it would, to me I have no reason to go. Like I have no reason to go. And if someone were to go to a concentration camp like Auschwitz to investigate, I mm, I think when it comes to places like those, even Japanese internment camps, I just don't think there's a need to be that. I don't think there's a need to be there. I feel like we just need to let the place be what it is, stand as a not even as a monument, but as a reminder of something horrific that happened. Um, wish these spirits well, but I just think we need to let them be. Personally, that's just my thing. I think we need to let them be. Um, and personally, I really don't believe that spirits get stuck per se. Um, but that kind of goes into some more granular things. Anyway, all right, let's see. I am, yep, that was definitely a scam. Putting that user and make sure. The Bridgewater Triangle. That's a good question. Um, I think anything is possible, but I haven't done enough research on the Bridgewater Triangle to really make an opinion about it. Um, I feel like it's kind of gotten taken over by multiple areas of anomalous research, whether that is um, aliens, cryptids. There's a lot going on there, but also when you look at that, I mean, it kind of reminds me of the 37th parallel discussion too. Nah, I don't know. Anytime I've been in the Bridgewater Triangle area, literally nothing happens to me. So, like, I've been there in person. I done a little bit of research on it because I wanted to see what I experienced to make sure that my bias wasn't coming through, if that makes sense. I'm trying to do more of that approach now in my investigations. I usually try to have at least one person there who's there like constantly, or who knows everything with the history so I can kind of consult with them. But yeah, that's I don't know. I haven't experienced anything. Um yeah, I mean I know that's Lauren Coleman's area as well. So yeah, and I have thoughts on Lauren Coleman too. So I mean not necessarily negative, but yeah. Do you think there are ways for people to put EMF emitting devices around the property so when someone is Yes, absolutely, Mary Beth. I think that is a thing. I've seen it happen. I've been to a couple of locations. I'm not going to say where literally I have found like radios in the vents. I have found speakers in the vents or like under furniture to fake activity. So here's another thing too. I don't have any with me, but walkie-talkies can set off EMF um, K2 meters. Walkie-talkies can also set off REM pods. So All you have to do is just stand nearby in the vicinity. You don't have to, you can have the volume down all the way on the walkie talkie. You can stand near a device, hit the button, and you can make equipment go off. Yeah, you can make equipment go off. So yeah, absolutely, Mary Beth. I think that is a thing. Does it happen all the time? Nah. Of all things paranormal, aliens scare me the most. LOL. I believe we aren't alone in the world, but I don't want to see an alien. You know what? I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you that the aliens and black-eyed children, that's my boundary. That's my line. That's my nope. Um, and anytime I've like gotten more into aliens and UFOs, especially after my grandfather finding out that he had his sighting, I'm just not like I'm just like, oh, they know I'm noticing them and they're gonna look back and I don't want them to know. Yeah, I agree with you. Rocky Mount? Ooh. My husband used to live in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Um, I don't know if you heard him, but yeah. Haunted places in Rocky Mount? Not really. I've had a couple of residential cases in that area, like Rocky Mount, Zebulon. My mother-in-law was in the hospital in Rocky Mount, so we were over there quite a bit. Was not very impressed with the health care that she received. Yeah, I haven't heard much. We've had residential cases, but nothing like significant. But I'm sure there are databases that could, tell you more. But yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I've heard of almost every other place in North Carolina, but Rocky Mount. Hmm. Let me just do a quick. Mm, no. Yeah, that's so weird. It's like Rocky Mount has. Yeah. I would say if you're able to get into Raleigh, there's more options in Raleigh, even in Durham. I don't know if Durham would be closer or further from you. Um, yeah, I would say Raleigh, Durham. I think there is a now there I will say there is a haunted bed and breakfast. It's on Airbnb in Wake Forest. So I don't know how far of a drive Wake Forest, North Carolina would be for you, but there's a couple of places in Wake Forest. I used to live in Raleigh, so and like I said, my husband lived in Rocky Mount for quite a while. So and yeah, he's got opinions on Rocky Mount. Um, I may have already met one. Oh, this is the aliens thing. Yeah, I'm not a fan of aliens. Also, I've heard of cases where spirit has followed someone home. Has that ever happened to you? And so yeah, that has. So that's a good question. I I can only say this is ghost theory and allegedly. Um, so take it with a grain of salt. I do believe I've had a couple of spirits follow me home. Um, and in that case, usually I try to set a boundary to prevent that. And anytime I have not set that boundary, then something has followed me home. Um, hang on, y'all, looking for my laptop charger, which isn't where it's supposed to be. All right. Um, so usually what I do is I set a boundary even before I get into my car. I say, hey, you can't follow me home. You can't come with me. Say, hey, you can stay until I cross the state line. I do that for Gettysburg a lot because, Gettysburg covers a lot of ground. And of course, we're going to have connection issues. All right. Are we good? This has not been a good evening for tech. Let me close a few more things. Okay, maybe that helps. There we go. Yep, that's what it was. It was my editing. It was my book editing stuff. Yeah, so I usually set that boundary and I say, hey, can't follow me home, or you can stay with me to a certain point, but other than that, you got to go. Now, if they end up sticking around a little bit longer, then again, setting boundaries. I will say, at least for me, having a spirit follow me home is not necessarily a bad thing for me. So far, it's been fairly positive. Sometimes in residential cases, I'll get spirits following me home. My husband doesn't really appreciate it, but it's a thing. So, yeah, Paul, if a if plantations are off limits to you for investigations, what are your thoughts on investigating former asylums? Yeah, so I do have some. This is an excellent question. Do I have to sneeze? Yeah, so I have a sneeze that's pending, so if I sneeze, I may have to. I have similar thoughts. I used to go to asylums a lot, and I never felt necessarily positive afterwards, if that makes sense. Um, and actually, a lot of people from the mental health communities, physical disabilities, people with disabilities from that community, they're actually starting to speak out a lot about paranormal investigators going to asylums and essentially saying like ghost hunting asylums is promoting a stigma about mental health that is not necessarily positive. And I know they're basing these views off of what they see on TV, which that's fair. That's fair for them to say that, especially with how TV investigators treat, spirits that may or may not have had mental illnesses, physical disabilities, impairments. Um, and also we have to keep in mind like who was sent to these asylums as well, and the level of mental health and the awareness of mental health and science that was in place at the time. Like Trans Allegheny is actually a great example of that. This was a place that was only supposed to house a couple hundred people, and then they were in the thousands in just a few years, and these people were not well taken care of. But also with Trans Allegheny, um, many of these people were dropped off because, you know, maybe it was a woman who was having a really bad maybe having premenstrual, oh my gosh, it's PMDD. That's the acronym, and I know it because I have PMDD. It's basically an intense form of PMS where, your thoughts really get away from you for a little bit. But also with Trans Allegheny, they held homosexual men, because at the time that it existed, sodomy was still a crime in the state of West Virginia. And instead of sending them to prison, they were sent to Trans Allegheny, and they were essentially treated as mentally ill. So this is a great question. So I go back and forth. Like, am I promoting a stigma by going and investigating asylums? Am I part of the problem if I do that? And again, it goes back, and I have to ask myself the same question: what purpose? Why am I there? And am I going to be making a positive impact, or am I going to be causing more harm? Not just for the dead, but am I going to be causing more harm for the living? I hope. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Um, Steve, when you host an investigation, how would you handle someone saying that there are spirits present that have nothing to do with the location? That's a good one. So I try not to discount anything someone says to me. Um, Usually what I'll do is I'll just make a note of it depending on the situation. I don't really host investigations with the public anymore because I just time and bandwidth. So usually it's just my own team that's there. And usually how we would handle that is, if this is because this has happened to me personally, where I've picked up on somebody that had no relation to the location at all. And basically what we did was, when that happened, we were looking at a couple of things. We were looking towards me, because I'm not a medium. I'm not this at all. It was just this person that popped up who was passing through. Because honestly, I don't think that every spirit that haunts a location is necessarily tied to that location. They may be just passing through, popping in and saying hi, or they came with somebody else. So usually we will entertain it. We will say, okay, let's ask some more questions. Let's see if we can get a name, figure out who this is, and then go back and fact check it. But also, again, this is such a weird world where maybe this spirit that's either, we could go with a couple options. One, the person's making it up. I don't think that's the case usually, but it can happen. But the second part is, this could have been someone that came with an individual, or it could be somebody that's just passing through. Um, so we still explore it. We still explore it for further research. So I don't discount it right away. Um, Now, if they're saying things, now if the person who's telling me about this is saying things that is historically inaccurate and claiming that the spirit is from that location, kind of like with Chloe. If someone's telling me that they're claiming to interact with Chloe and they're regurgitating that really problematic story about Chloe, then I would probably be like, I might be a little sus. But if they're saying like, oh, this is a man named Tim coming through, um, we'll just explore that. Like, okay, well, let's find out where Tim is from and let's entertain it. We'll entertain it. Um, yeah, aliens. Yep. If I talk about it, they'll pop up. I don't like it. Um, yes. um, this is about the hospital in Rocky Mount. Chris, this person said if she was in Trash General, they suck. It was Nash General. That's so funny. Um, can you talk about a place or two that you think you would never want to explore or investigate due to it being very haunted or with extreme negative energy, Alex? So, if you tell me that there is a building that has all demons in it and it's a very negative haunting, I'm going to go in there. So, I'm going to go in there. So, um, there's, I'm trying to think if there's a nut. I don't think there's a location that I would not go to, unless it caused me um, specific harm. Oh, I'm sorry. Hopefully, I'll do some digging, Crystal, to see if I can find something in Rocky Mount for you. Um, Tala is scary, yeah. Um, yeah. Oh, this is about asylums. Yeah, that's kind of a good point. When a researcher is asking, can you speak into this recorder or asking questions? What if they're interacting with someone who is nonverbal in their day? That's a good point. That's a good point. Actually, so when I was going to asylums, I did go to St. Albans Sanatorium. I did have somebody with me that had was like an expert in history of American Sign Language and could actually like use ASL from like different points of time because ASL has evolved over the century, and we actually gave that a try, and we didn't really get anything that we could hear, but I noticed that we could not necessarily hearing EVPs or words, but there was a lot more like thumping activity around. That was interesting. Like the spirit could be getting upset. Yeah, and I think this is where we have to really look into like inclusive ghost hunting, and this is something I'm working on a blog about right now, is making ghost hunting more accessible, not just for the living but also the dead. How can we improve our communication methods in communicating with spirits who may not be able who weren't able to speak, or they don't speak, or there's a hearing impairment, there's a visual impairment, assuming that they take those with them in the afterlife. Is it possible to communicate with spirits that have crossed the other side? This is very much again, ghost theory. I need a header that says ghost theory. This is very much ghost theory for me. Um, Personally, I think so. From what I've had several mediums tell me, my mother has crossed over and she just pops in. She just pops in. She just pops in to say hi. Um, let's see, the place where children were. I can't watch anybody's investigation there. I have two autistic nonverbal grandsons. Oh, who I live with, this place. Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, so I'm just kind of answering questions rapid fire, everyone. I'm sorry if it's confusing. So for me personally, I personally believe that when you do cross over, I think you can come back. I don't think that once you cross over, it's like there's this iron gate set up where there's no way you can come back. What's your favorite paranormal show? I don't have a favorite. I am watching Repossessed on Hulu right now, and I am enjoying it. Repossessed is kind of like a paranormal antiques roadshow, and I do find it very delightful. As with all paranormal TV, it is a little dramatic, especially with the reenactments and everything, but that's just the formula with paranormal TV. I just have to accept it for what it is. But yeah, Repossessed on Hulu, that's what I'm getting through right now. Well, thank you for stopping in, Henry. Thank you for I may be doing more live streams this month because unless I get the motivation to create content, Well, I'm always motivated. It's just finding the time and the energy. I'm learning ASL along with my grandsons. Aw, that's a good one. Let's see. I do like looking at little old graveyards when I take Battle Park Trail. They have a lot of old graves there. I never knew it existed until I started taking it to get back and forth to work on my bicycle. That's awesome. You may want to stop and maybe see, like, just kind of talk to the space and say, hey, I'm here to hear your story and set some boundaries so they don't come home with you. But that might be an option. You never know. You know what? These stories all come from somewhere. These legends come from somewhere. And I think until somebody starts paying attention to their space around them, yeah. So I think you never know. You may be the one that unearths a paranormal location in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Let's see. I love Dead Files. It's been on forever. Yeah, Dead Files. I have not really dove into that. I keep wanting to, and then I don't know. I keep missing it on the radar. I mean, I have Discovery Plus. I can just turn it on. Started watching it. Oh, Repossess on your recommendation. I like it. But I haven't watched too many episodes. Yeah, I've gotten through I think halfway now. Because I also have friends on the show, so I've been wanting to support them. And also, Repossessed has an extraordinarily diverse cast. We got two women. Holy crap, two women and one male. The male is the lead investigator, and the other two are like the helpers, the assistants, the sidekicks. But the two, it's all people of color. So the entire cast is all people of color. Um, this one of the psychics, she is indigenous. So I mean there's a lot of diversity and a lot of inclusion in this show, so I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'm going to support that. So good stuff. It's so I'm enjoying it. I think I don't know if it'll get renewed for a second season, but I hope it does. Hey Jacqueline. There are some great teams with shows on YouTube and some bad ones. Yeah, that's a tough one. I know, can't remember her name, or it's Jesslyn. She's got some good stuff. Um, there's some good stuff on YouTube. Um, Katrina, as you've probably heard, Portals to Hell has been canceled, but Katrina Weidman and Heather Taddy, they are doing a show on YouTube now. That's actually it's really enjoyable. Graveyards, tombstones. Oh yeah. Have you ever explored the? Oh hey Justin. Hey. Hope you're doing well. Have you ever explored the bird sanctuary in Norfolk, Virginia? I have not seen anything about it online, but experienced weird stuff personally. And speaking of VA, have you done any investigations in Colonial Williamsburg? Ooh, so I haven't been to the bird sanctuary, but I have investigated Colonial Williamsburg. So I haven't been in any of the buildings, but I have done like outdoor investigations in Williamsburg. And I know that that's not the original spot where a lot of those buildings stood, so I know it's gone through a lot of changes. But yeah, I haven't caught anything like terribly dramatic in Williamsburg or anything noticeable, um, but I haven't been back enough, and I think Williamsburg is 2 hours from me. Yeah, 2 hours from me ish. Yeah. Um, I would like to go there a bit more. I need to go there a little bit more. So thank you for that question. Nikki, I love that we're starting to see more diversity and inclusion in paranormal hunting. I agree. So, yeah, same thing, Mary Beth. Yeah, so I've always said that paranormal entertainment, that world is like 10 years behind. So, about 10 years ago, we started seeing a bit more inclusion and diversity in mainstream Hollywood with TV and movies. Paranormal is finally catching up. I hope they continue to do that. So, but there are production companies really making an effort to make sure that there is more diversity. My papa passed away in May 2020, and last time I saw him alive was the day before the lockdown the last time. I'm so sorry, Crystal. I tried so hard for days after he passed to make communication with him, but I couldn't. I like to know how he's doing and if there's anything he wants me to tell Mama. Oh, Mima. So you may I can give you some recommendations on mediums. Because I'll be honest, after my grandparents passed away, they pieced out. My grandmother may have done one thing just to let us know she was okay. She turned the lights out for us at the house. But besides that, my grandma pieced out. Same thing with my grandpa. He pieced out too. And I think my grandma was just like, bye, I'm done. Not in a bad way, but I think she was just very eager to be with my grandpa again. So I think that may have been why. Um, that's hard when that happens because then it's like, well, what's going on? And why aren't they coming to let me know they're okay? But you can also just try. Well, I mean, I know you've been trying to make communication, so I can give you some recommendations for some mediums if you'd like, and you can connect with them. Katrina is lovely. I investigated with her in the UK at a Paracon. Yeah, Katrina is lovely. She's a great human being. Um, just moved to South Carolina, so I'm closer. Ooh, hey, South Carolina. Ghost Brothers was canceled. I believe it was Portals to Hell, Ghost Brothers, and there was one more. I'm only keeping up with it because there's so much drama. There's so much drama surrounding the cancellations right now, especially with the whole Zach Bagans, Dakota Layden drama. That is, yeah. I really, gosh, and I really don't like that my most popular content on TikTok this week was anything about the whole Dakota Layden, Zach Bagans, and Nick Groff drama. I hate that. I hate it. Uh, Most definitely. It was completely unexpected. He was 4 days away from coming home. I kind of feel no one was able to get the closure they actually needed. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's hard. That's so hard when that happens. Um, yeah. Yeah, Crystal, connect with me on Facebook, and I can give you some recommendations for people to contact, and maybe they can help. Um, Mary Beth. Yeah, so I had actually debated like doing a whole recap as a video, but then I'm like, I really kind of don't care. Now, do I care that it's possible that Zach Bagans could finally be held accountable for some of his problematic behavior? I'm here for that. I'm here for that, but it's terrible. I kind of don't care. I would be sad. I'm sad about people losing their jobs, like, because that sucks. That really sucks. It sucks to lose your job. But other than that, yeah, I'm just kind of like, eh, you know. I feel like we're reaching. What's a good way to say this? I feel like we're reaching not the end of paranormal entertainment as we know it right now, but I think it is starting to dwindle down a bit. Um, because it's the same formula everywhere you go, and I think people are getting tired of that, and I think it's starting to affect ratings. Hence, and I know it was like the WB HBO merger that really was causing the cancellations. Um, and I think in that case, that's where the creators have to move away from mainstream TV, and if they want to keep going, then they move to YouTube. And YouTube can be just as lucrative and successful these days. Um, yeah, I think there would be a mass protest if Kindred Spirits got canceled. Hey Brandon, how are you? I'm sure you're a little stressed out right now because your event is coming up in a few weeks. Yeah. So how's that going? While we do that, I never liked Zach. The only episode I watched all the way through was the one they did at Holly's house. That actually wasn't a bad episode. That was not a bad episode. I miss the early Ghost Adventures. Um, you know, maybe, yeah, back when Nick was still on the show. I mean, I don't know if anyone's ever seen the original Ghost Hunters documentary, but it was really good. Like, it was really good. And I was a Ghost Adventures fan for a little bit, but then it changed. It changed into something else. It's definitely changed into something else. But I will give Zach this. Zach is a brilliant businessman. He's he knows the business, he knows the game, and he plays it very well. I think between the museum, the show, all the sub branches of shows, where he's the producer, he knows what he's doing. And another thing is, and I've always said this, we are you in the paranormal community, we're not the target audience for shows like Ghost Adventures. It's not, we are not the target audience. The target audience is for somebody who's not involved in this world, who isn't involved in paranormal research, who just watch these shows for entertainment. We are not the target audience. So, and I feel like we are starting to get a little bit of a surge of shows that, do appeal to the paranormal community too. Like, Kindred Spirits can be one of them. Um, Repossessed, sure, too. Oh no, Brandon. Brandon has an event in South Carolina in a few weeks. Y'all should check it out. I'm gonna look up I'm gonna make sure I get the name right because I'm sure I'm gonna say it wrong. It's the Haunting at the Mill Paracon in Pickens, South Carolina. So, y'all, if you're in South Carolina or around North Carolina and the southern part of North Carolina, you should check it out. Yeah, okay. I do like Holly. Someone commented on one of my TikTok videos because Holly was commenting on the drama too, but passive aggressively, not being direct. And someone commented on my video saying that Holly was trying to ride Zach's coattails, and I'm like, you know who Holly Madison is, right? Like, you know who Holly is. Like, she's famous on her own. She definitely does not need Zach for fame. If anything, it's the other way around. It's very dramatic. I liked Ghost Hunters when they first came out. It was just 3 dudes. Yeah, I agree. I think Ghost Hunters really created or really made the paranormal accessible. I mean, because it was plumbers, plumbers who were going looking for ghosts. With a couple of cameras, yes. Zach is a very good showing. Yeah, you know what? I've tried to watch Ghost Brothers. It's good. I enjoy it. I'm not like a big religious watcher of it. Anything with paranormal TV, I kind of struggle with. Hey, Glenn, I'm doing okay. Let's see. Hey, Spooky Appalachia. That is a great podcast you should check out, by the way. Spooky Appalachia. Really good, short, digestible episodes. Awesome stuff. What was that? That's always my favorite one. Um, oh no, Kira, I'm sorry. Hope insurance works that out. Man, comments are coming through. Hey, everybody. I don't investigate, and Zach is too much for me. Yeah, Zach is he's evolved. I don't know in a good way, but my favorite Ghost Hunters episode was when they went to Bisbee, Arizona. Not an early episode, but I found it so funny, and they got some really good evidence at the Copper Queen Hotel. Yeah, you're in upstate South Carolina. I don't. You might be that might be close to you. Yeah. Oh, no problem, Brandon. Of course, I know that's coming up for you very soon, and um, yeah, that's exciting. Classic Ghost Hunters. Yes, I missed that as well. So, yes, gotta love classic Ghost Hunters. What about that one goes so bad? Oh, I'm sorry, Mary Beth. Mary Beth, don't you have? Oh, wait, that's Michigan Paracon. I was like, wait, isn't there a Minnesota Paracon? There's not. Ghost Brothers is funny and fun to watch. I don't watch a ton, but it's enjoyable. And you're welcome. Yeah, fun story. So my grandfather lived in Minneapolis, Minnesota for years, for a couple years, and he was also stationed at Fort Snelling, in Minnesota as well. I think Fort Snelling's in Minnesota. Let me check really quick. Yeah, St. Paul, Minnesota. Um, I've actually been wanting to go to Fort Snelling because I'm trying to do all this research on my grandpa. And I want to go to Fort Snelling so that I could, kind of get to see what his story was like. Um, Darren, what was your favorite place to investigate in North Carolina? Trivia Clinic, hands down. Trivia Clinic in Hamptonville, North Carolina. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That is one of the best places, in my opinion, that you can go and investigate. I think it is an inaccessible location. It's just wonderful. I mean, people are very welcoming. The owners are really just fantastic human beings. It's not terribly expensive to go. There's events happening there often. Um, there's events happening there often, and I think it's just a wonderful place to go. I'll always stand by the Trivia Clinic. You've been to Hamptonville? Holy cow! Holy cow! I don't meet a lot of people who know Hamptonville, North Carolina, or Union Grove, or Harmony, like that whole area. Fort Snelling is great. Yeah, so my grandfather was stationed at Fort Snelling during World War II. He was so he and other Japanese American soldiers were teaching Japanese to American GIs. I don't know like the full story as to like what he was doing because it's classified and getting access is a little tricky. Um, so I'm still trying to get a full understanding as to what exactly he was doing there. But the program manager at Historic Fort Snelling has been um, an amazing human being, and she's been really great with her information and sending me things. So, and for that, I'm very, very grateful. Very, very grateful. Um, I am currently working on a promo code for my Etsy shop in case anyone would like to. Usually, I try to do a promo code with. I usually try to do a promo code with all of my live streams as like a thank you to everybody for, hanging out. So I'm getting you all the promo code right now, and it's 10% off. It's 10% off for everybody in Etsy. There we go. Here we go. Let's do this. If anyone would like to support Callie Cat and her medical bills, it's going to be good until the 19th. Come on. Okay. The code is March Live. Okay, let's do that. Show. There we go. Haha. Cool. Yay, got that figured out. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I definitely need some boots in the ground with Fort Snelling. So I may reach out to you, Mary Beth. Um, I'm also putting the promo code for the Etsy shop as well, in the chats. So if anyone wants to go support Callie Cat in her little medical bills and good times. Have you ever encountered a demon during any of your investigations? Ooh, nah, not that I think so. There is one, and it's a residential case. So I'll try to share as vaguely as I can because confidentiality. Excuse me. Um, a child was involved. We had some. Uh, this entity seemed to be really dark. If it was a human, it was a very nasty, aggressive human. But demon, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. That's a that's a tough one. Fort Snelling is just down the highway from me. I heard about some personal experiences there, but I'm not sure they allow investigations. Fort Snelling mentioned the Japanese translation in a recent exhibition I attended there. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so the program manager, so this was a couple years ago. She reached out to me. So I think she was working on that very exhibit that you were talking about. She sent me a whole like breakdown of my grandfather's military history, like year by year. And then my grandfather just kind of disappeared off the map. Really what happened was he met my grandmother and, you know, he just kind of started living, off not off the grid. He was still in the military, but yeah, there's been a couple articles written about my grandfather. In 1946, he was denied the chance to buy a house because he was Japanese, and this was in Minneapolis. So a couple of reporters from Minneapolis actually reached out to me and my uncle, wanting to know, like, hey, what happened to your grandfather? What was the conclusion? So, and his story has been featured in a couple of books now when it comes to like racism in America, which we never knew about it. We never knew about it until a couple years ago. Um, yeah. So going back to this question about the demon thing, it's hard because we never really know for sure. But I feel like in my 15-ish years doing this, yeah, really, there's just only like one or two incidences where I'm like, was that a demon? But even then, I'm still not sure. I think, I've been really trying to be careful as to if it scares me, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's evil. It just means that my reaction is negative. Um, it's like if you see a ghost of a child and it freaks you out, and some people are like, "Oh, there's no child spirits, only demons," and of course that would cause some anxiety, but doesn't necessarily mean that that child is a demon. Um, that's hard. That is really hard. That's for me. I feel like the demon trope has been overused, and I think that does influence people's reactions to activity. Like, I have noticed some YouTube videos where people have said, "Oh, there's a demon at the Trivet Clinic," and I'm like, "No, no, there's not." I mean, and I've talked to demonologists who have been to the Trivet Clinic, and I'm like, "Hey, do you think that this is a thing? That there were demons at the Trivet Clinic?" And the one demonologist I talked to said, he's like, "If there was demons at the Trivet Clinic, they're not there now." He's like, I feel like I can say with full confidence they're not there now. But then that also goes back to, but what if there is something like negative attached to somebody, and then, they visit the Trivet Clinic and then they're like, "Ooh, I like it here. Let's explore this a little more." That's tough. That is also very difficult. It's very difficult to assess. Um, so I can't say that I know for sure if I've encountered a demon during investigations. Have I encountered something negative? Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, yeah, spooky Appalachia, I do agree with you. I do think demon gets used a lot to draw attention. I mean, it's clicks. It drives clicks. It drives clicks and everything. And I mean, I have a background in marketing, and that was a yawn. um, I have a background in marketing, not necessarily in college, but in the corporate world. Um, then it's like it's driving clicks. It's grabbing attention and driving clicks. So, yeah, Mary Beth, I don't believe there are a lot of demon cases. Bad energy, mean spirits, sure. Yeah, it's tough. It's hard. And I also try to be cognizant that I'm not labeling something as a demon. It's like the whole Indian burial ground trope that can be problematic. A lot of people will associate that with demons, and it's like, no, no, that's not quite the case. Hey, Sally, shout out from Houston, Texas. I went to Texas quite a few times in 2022, mainly Austin and Dallas for work. I really like Texas. I mean, with the current climate there, I'm not sure like how well I would do, but anytime I visited Texas, granted, the Dallas and Austin I have visited has been very well developed. So um, more city like. I haven't been out to like the suburbs or the outskirts of those cities, but anytime I've been to Texas, I've always enjoyed it. And also, y'all have In-N-Out Burger and Whataburger. Couple options, better burger options than I have here in Virginia. They really do. Texas really does have all the seasons in a week. And I witnessed that when I was in Austin in December. Like, it got really cold my first day, and then it got really hot and humid, and then it was pleasant. So I'm like, oh, I got winter, spring, and summer. Tons of burial mounds in my area. Oh, interesting. Spooky. Whataburger rocks. Okay, Sally, are you Whataburger or In-N-Out? I'm guessing Whataburger because of this comment. We may be mortal enemies because I lean on In-N-Out Burger. But I like both. I like both. I think I lean more towards In-N-Out because I grew up with In-N-Out Burger. So I think that's more emotional attachment, and I do like I do like In-N-Out's fries too. I don't know. Like visiting Texas, but I don't want to live there. If work were to tell me to go move to Texas, think I might do it. It's kind of funny because half my team is like in Dallas and Austin. What? No, no love for the In-N-Out. Oh wait, there's love for In-N-Out. Yeah, Oh, here we go. Here we go. Team In and Out. We were getting some love for In and Out. And then Mary Beth's like, I've never been to either. You know, I would definitely go. So if I didn't have In and Out, I would definitely go to Whataburger. And of course, I'll go to Whataburger if there's no In and Out and vice versa. Um, More so than going to like Burger King or McDonald's or anything like that. So you have to visit the hill country, lots of Indian burial grounds. Whew. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, with the history of Texas, oh yeah, yeah, I would not be surprised. Um, Growing up, I heard about them. My mom was a very religious person, and my papa was too. Yeah, I'm assuming this is about the demon thing. Yeah, so it's not uncommon for religion, especially Christianity, to really dive into the idea of like there's no ghosts, there's only demons type of thing. Or if anything bad happens, it's demons. Yeah, so I can definitely see that. I can see that. Guess I'm missing out. I've never visited the Midwest, and now I'm hungry. Yeah, I know. I'm sitting here. So when I was in Austin for work, this was in December. I literally went. So my flight was in the afternoon, and I did that on purpose because I went and got myself and my husband some In and Out. So I got two burgers with fries, and I ate the fries on the way to the airport. No, I ate the fries at the airport, not on the way. I didn't touch the burgers though, and and I brought In and Out back for my husband and me. It was old. I mean, it was like 4 hours old, but In and Out still tasted good after being 4 hours old and a little cold. We, wrapped it in a wet paper towel, put it in the air fryer, and heated it up a little bit. Um, yeah, it was really good. It was still really good. But yeah, I will literally bring back In and Out for my husband and I. So it's so funny. I don't think we have either of those burger places in Minnesota. Oh man. Oh, spooky. My son is making homemade pizza sounds really good. Y'all are making me hungry. I haven't had dinner yet. Probably should eat pretty soon. Um, but yeah, so I'm definitely hardcore In and Out, but Whataburger is good too. I had my first Whataburger in the Dallas airport? Yes, it was the Dallas airport, and I was literally on my way out, and I'm like, I should really give Whataburger while I'm here, because I had In-N-Out, like, twice, um, and, yeah, um, and I'm like, "I should probably try Whataburger," and I did, and it was really good. I was like, "Oh, I can see what the hype is." That's awesome, guess. Yeah, so I put the In-N-Out in my carry-on. Yeah, I just put it in my backpack. No one said anything. So, yep, just put it in my backpack, and then my backpack smelled like In-N-Out for a month. And so anytime I needed like my In-N-Out fix, I would just open up my work backpack and just inhale. It was a nice smell. It's a nice smell. Brings back a lot of memories. Brings back a lot of memories of growing up in San Diego and getting In-N-Out after school, and yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So you can take food with you, like, in your carry-on. I definitely encourage it. Obviously you can't bring drinks or anything, but yeah, even when I visited my family in Seattle, there was a teriyaki place that they would go to, and it was a teriyaki chicken place, and I basically brought teriyaki chicken in my wasn't in my carry-on because it was like a styrofoam thing, but it was part of my carry-on ensemble. And then I really wrapped up the bottles of teriyaki sauce, like literally foil on top of the cap, Ziploc bag, wrap it in foil, and I put it in my not foil, what was it? Plastic wrap. Um, and I put it in my checked bag. Focusing. Uh, yeah, so anytime I visit the West Coast or the Midwest that has In-N-Out, Whataburger, any kind of food I grew up with, especially legit Mexican food in San Diego, I find a way to bring it home. Even if I can only eat it for like a day, I'm like, I'm gonna figure out how to do this. So yeah, you can. So definitely review the TSA rules, but yeah, you can bring food in your carry-on. Yeah, like I said, I just put my In-N-Out in my backpack and it was fine. I think liquids is more of the issue. Yeah, it's liquids. Um, Next time I travel, I'll bring some biscuits and gravy since you can only get it here. Yeah, seriously. Or at least the ingredients for the gravy. I've always been kind of fascinated with spirits in the afterlife, and I kind of hid it for years. I've just recently, within the past few years, have actually started to learn more about it. That's awesome, Crystal. Yeah, that's kind of how I started. I grew up with this idea that there were no ghosts, only demons and whatnot. But I don't know. I felt like there had to have been something more. Plus, I had experiences that weren't like evil or demonic. So I'm like, let's do this. Do you do any public investigations? I go back and forth about that. At the Trivia Clinic, definitely I would because I've been there so many times now that I'm happy to help foster um, people's experiences there. But if it's like a new place I've never been to, I may or may not do a public investigation because I want to try to enjoy it for myself. So, and also I'm trying to decide like how much I would like when it comes to a public investigation, like would I want this to be something that I would help lead, or would it just be, hey, I need 10 people to help me get the cap on the minimum for this haunted location. Does anyone want to go with me? And then we just all go do our own thing. I've debated doing that as well because I feel like that would be less of a lift on my end. I wouldn't have to do so much. So um as opposed to like running it like an event company. I go back and forth about it, especially since my team, we only have 4 members right now. We could expand, but a lot of these haunted locations, especially the big ones, they usually have they usually charge you for a minimum of 10 people. So usually that's like $1,000 or more. Excuse me. Um, which is a lot of money, 4 people splitting up $1,000. That's a lot. So if we can like try to find 6 more people to help with that, that'd be awesome. Um, yeah, so it's on my mind. It's on my mind. I don't think I'm gonna make it happen in 2023 because my appearance schedule is a little insane this year. I think I have 14 events total that I'm doing between conventions and speaking engagements. So it's a lot. It's a lot. So, but maybe for 2024, it's a thought for 2024. So, oh no. Oh, that sucks. I'm so sorry. Oh, they made you pour out the root beer from the. No, that's so sad. That's heartbreaking. Ugh, so sorry about that. That sucks. Ah, man. All right. Any other final questions? Questions, concerns, thoughts, happy thoughts. I'll just hang out a little bit. Ooh, I just got the updated book cover. Oh, okay. Okay. Ooh. Oh, ho, ho. Oh, ho, ho. I might like this. Oh, ho. Oh, man, I wish I could show you all the updated book cover. Well, possible updated book cover. All right. What place scared you the most? Ooh, I got the. Okay. Okay. I like that book cover. Sorry, y'all. I wish I could show you. I have to show my Patreon subscribers first, though, because that's the agreement. Spooky Appalachia, I love your weird Instagram messages and that they're intentional. So I really like that new cover. Hey, 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 hey. Sorry. Okay. Hey, Ninjago, I'm so happy to see you. Ninjago is one of my long-term YouTube subscribers. Yeah. What place scared me the most? Let me think about that for a moment. I do enjoy those weird messages. Oh, thank you, Mary Beth. When am I coming to the UK? That's an amazing question. I would, I'm actually trying to finagle my way to Europe for work because I'm working with some subject matter experts in Paris. And I'm kind of like, hey, because I mean, I go to Seattle, Dallas, and Austin all the time for work. Um, so I'm like, okay, could I go to Paris? And maybe go to the UK in between, you know. Um, oh, I'm sorry they took your Coke too. We got a new husky puppy. Oh, you got a husky. Huskies are loud. Huskies are loud. Ah, I love huskies though. Nice. All right. All right. So, okay, let me go back to Darren's question. What place scared me the most? Hmm. I would say the place that really I would say it would be the orphanage in Gettysburg. Gettysburg. I'm trying to say it like a local, Gettysburg. Um, and that's because of this potential spirit by the name, her name is Rosa Carmichael. Um, I don't know if that spirit is actually Rosa Carmichael, but is definitely something nasty that has taken on Rosa Carmichael's appearance, or not even appearance, but just name or identity. I guess identity would be a good word for it. I'm not particularly I like going to that place because of the kids, but I would say so my very first trip to the Gettysburg Orphanage, I pulled a Zach Bagans. I had heard about so Rosa Carmichael was the second caretaker of the orphanage, and she was really terrible to the kids. She abused the kids. Just not a good human being. And her crimes were eventually um and she was eventually run out of town, and yeah, so she was run out of town, and then for some reason she's like haunting it. She's haunting the orphanage now, and I have some theories that maybe Rosa got taken out when she was run out of town. But anyway, so I was in the basement of the orphanage, and of course, like I said, I had a Zach Bagans moment, and I decided to be combative, and I said, "How dare you call yourself a caretaker of children?" and blah blah blah. And then I felt like this thing came up to my face, and like you can tell when something is really close to you, and it's like I could feel the breath coming out of this thing, and I just hear and feel this and I was done. I was like, I had my paranormal experience. I'm good. I got my $80 worth. um so but it's also it's also the place I go to all the time. Like anytime I could go to the orphanage, I go. Like I definitely go. So um yeah. Yeah, so it was definitely a yeah. Oh man, it's yeah. It's yeah, that's one of those things. All right. So Jude has any tea. So Ninjago, to catch you up. There's some drama between Zach Bagans, Dakota Layden, and Nick Groff. Although I think Dakota has pieced out of the conversation at this point. Um, I kind of go back and question whether this was a whole publicity stunt to save Destination Fear, to be honest. So basically, it's in regards to like the whole renewal status of Destination Fear. People were alleging that Zach was asking the network to shut down Destination Fear because it was getting more popular than Ghost Adventures. And anyway, Dakota made a video saying, hey, that's actually not the case. However, and then he added that he and Zach are not on good terms. And of course, this makes social media just go, you know, um, social media just goes nuts. And then Nick Groff started popping in with how he was going to start revealing the truth. He was going to answer questions. Again, social media is going nuts. But as of right now, tea has not been spilled. Tea has not been spilled. Yeah. Aw, I'm glad, Mary Beth, that you need. Yeah, I needed it too. I need to connect with y'all. All of Gettysburg is creepy. The Point Pleasant TNT area. I have not been to the TNT area yet. I've been to Point Pleasant, but not the TNT area. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got my. Oop, I'm a little crooked right now. Yeah, I got my wedding ring on. Yep. So my nails look awful though. Ragged school. Yeah, gotta go to the Ragged School in London. Dr. Barnada's first school. Interesting. Oh, Mary Beth, have a good dinner. Oh, that's disappointing. Ah, all right, cool. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, everyone, because I'm a little hungry. I still need to go eat dinner. So, but yeah, thank you all for coming in to the chat and hanging out with me this evening. Either next week will be another live video, or I may actually have a video for you all. Um, we'll see how we'll see how it goes. Ninjago, oh, senior prom and graduation. That's exciting. Oh, Spooky, I'll have to check out I'll have to check out your video on that. Thank you, Darren. Yes, our food talk has made me hungry. Yeah, so I really appreciate you all coming in. And like I said, next week it'll either be another live or it'll be a recorded video, and I'll be in the chat, of course, as usual. And yeah, if you want to hop on to, my Etsy shop, help pay for, help with Callie's bills and maybe get a spooky shirt or a spooky mug or a spooky book, you can get 10% off until March 19th. But besides that, yeah, y'all, nice chat tonight. It was really wonderful to connect with everyone. Thank you all so much for your support. Um, yeah, really, really glad for you all. I'm really grateful for you all. You all are wonderful human beings, and I'm very honored that y'all chose to hang out with me tonight. And y'all are awesome. Whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, thank you all so much. Um, I always love talking to you all. So I hope you all have a wonderful night. Bye.